Awesome, Santi. Thank you for having me today and ready to do some theory crafting.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so let's kick things off. This is the Atlas Brew number 4. I'm here with my co-host, the one and only Jose. How are you, Jose?
Awesome, Santi. Thank you for having me today and ready to do some theory crafting.
Yeah. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
No? Yeah, it was perfect, Santi.
Okay, Jose. Perfect, man. So yeah, we're going to do some pretty deep theory crafting today. We want to this Atlas Brew. The main topic is what you guys want to see in the full game, and we want everybody just to share ideas. I know that Jose has some of his own that we will kick off things with them, and we want everybody just to share ideas and brainstorm together. And we will be taking notes of this Atlas Brew and also sharing with the Star Atlas team. So maybe they develop something or they even take ideas. So yeah, just feel free to go crazy with ideas here today. We have some cool stuff happen on this week. We have the Star Atlas website won the Website of the Year award, which
Woo!
I mean, this is like a win for the whole community because everyone just went and voted for us, and it's a lot. Like for real, winning the Website of the Year award, it's something big. So congratulations to everybody in the Star Atlas family. We did this together. I will be sharing the link of the tweet. So if you don't know, we use the Atlas Brew channel to speak. If you don't want to speak and you want to chat, you can type on the Atlas Brew channel. We will be reading everything. So yeah, that is something cool. We want the Website of the Year. We are going to probably announce as well in the town hall. But it's great, and congratulations everybody. We did this together. Also, another highlight so far is that the Final Frontier actually was featured. The guild, the Star Atlas Guild. Yeah, the Final Frontier was featured in Cointelegraph, I think. Let me find the article again.
Yeah, it was Cointelegraph. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. that is great as well.
I mean, you buy those press releases.
Do we have someone from the Final Frontier to give us some little insight on this, or we don't? I don't see anyone from Final Frontier.
Ark's here.
Oh, really? Ark, do you want to tell us some more details on this? I guess he's shy.
Are you shy, Arkid?
Right, I shared this as well on the Atlas Brew channel. And another thing, I have some little alpha for you guys. I know that you are anxious about what we are going to drop in the town hall, and I have some classified information for you guys.
Leak?
Spoiler. Some little spoiler. So we are going to share some how to say it without leaking everything. Let me think. So we are going to share. I know that you want the leaks. I know that you want the leaks. But yeah, so what we're going to share, it's related to game mechanics for gameplay. So just for you to be aware, do not expect a video. It's related to game mechanics of the gameplay.
Stealth?
So that's the only thing that I'm going to say. I won't speak anymore because I will just leak everything. Okay.
What did it say?
So, what?
Oh my god.
What did it say?
I said nothing. That's all. That's all.
Stealth. I'm betting stealth.
Wait for Friday. Wait for Friday.
All right.
So let's kick the Atlas Brew. Jose, what do you think? Where do you want to start, my man?
I wanted to start by discussing this alpha a little more, but since we won't get anything out of you, maybe we can start with some ideas for the politics in Star Atlas. You guys know that I'm in love with the idea of developing our politics or regional faction and police DAO. So I would like to start about my idea of introducing the regional DAO in Star Atlas. Recently, I wrote an article about that, and it struck me as a fun way to start the political life in Star Atlas, like the regional life, the regional politics in Star Atlas. And in order to introduce this mechanic in a gamified way, I was thinking about what if Star Atlas started the game, the universe, without any regional DAO? And then each player would go to their home planets, the ones that they had claimed through the Cream event, and they would band together with their friends in the region, and they would trigger a start event. And in this start event, they would need to pull together their police, and once they have actually deployed enough police, they would trigger the beginning of their DAO. And the quantity of police that would be necessary to trigger this event would be calculated due to the size of the stellar system that they aim to create, like the initial order. And all those police that they use to trigger this event would also be the initial treasure of the region. And this is where I think that things get interesting. So yeah, this idea, I had this idea thinking about how many regional DAOs we want in Star Atlas. And I figured that the more regional DAOs we have, especially at the beginning, it will be better for the project. Because more regional DAOs means that the police will be more dispersed in our universe. So every single player will feel as if their police, even if you don't have the biggest bags in the market, will make the difference, especially in the beginning. And I would like to also introduce a new mechanic in the game called influence. Influence would be an in-game attribute of the regions of Star Atlas, which determines the political borders of a region and the assets that are under their control. So, for example, if your regional DAO has X in terms of influence, it would increases their border through faster or slowly. And they would keep increasing as long as the police contribution keeps increasing for the users as well, as a simulation of your actual influence in real life, like your political capacity of domaining a certain territory. And as you guys can imagine, at some point, different regions' influence will clash, creating actual political borders between regions in Star Atlas. And this would be the only limitation for the possibility of growing your regional DAO borders, like meeting other regional borders or being limited in the quantity of influence that you have in your region. The region, this influence that I spoke of would be calculated using some variables, like the total amount of staked policies in the region, the player population established in the region, and the level of development of political and economical structures in the region. So it would be like, I don't know, have you guys played some sort of strategy games where you actually spend your border due to your influence or your cultural levels? This would be something that would work as a strategy game in Star Atlas. And once the borders of the regions touched with each other, it would make possible for us to do some cool stuff. Like, for example, you could fusion two different regions by triggering a police DAO vote on both regions. Or you could actually start a war. and the region with the highest influence could try to conquer the region with less influence, and these mechanics would make the both treasures be integrated and shared between this new region that was being born. So I think that would be a fun way to introduce the mechanic of the regional DAO and actually enable players to play a more active role in founding their empires and their regions in Star Atlas. Like everyone will be thrown in the universe where there is nothing, no political order or any kind of structure, and we'll see those little points of cities and civilizations being born and growing and expanding and changing, fusioning itself or conquering each other in war. I think that would be a really cool gaming feature and mechanic for our universe. And that's my first idea. What do you guys think or have an idea about that?
It's pretty good.
Major easy. I hate it because it's just for the whales, right? It's polis. The people who've got the most polis have the most influence. If it was based off some sort of in-game thing that you could only earn in-game, then fair enough. It gives smaller guilds and solo players and kind of people a chance to have some influence. But basing it off how much policy you've got just means the people with the biggest bags, dominate. And that just makes the game, in my opinion, shit.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting point.
I actually agree.
I thought a way of maybe balancing that, gathering more people to be in your region, or maybe we can introduce other elements like you can actually make quests or missions in order to increase your influence, maybe not only use polis but aggregate other elements to help people get their influence in other ways.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think if you do it, if it's influence based off other factors from in-game, then that's a different mechanic. But if you base it off polis to start with, then it just means that the big guilds and the big people with the big bangs dominate, which I just think will ruin the game.
What would you say, Mr. Easy, if it was based both off of polis and things that you could do in game? So what if it was like half and half? Would you still think that's quote unquote shit, or would you say that's better?
It's better, but I think your problem still is it's the big bags dominate. I think, actually, to be honest, thinking about it, actually, it's irrelevant, right? Because in the high risk zone, there is no DAO or anything like that. So, in reality, what you'd be talking about is how it expands in kind of the medium risk zone, which is probably going to, and the low risk, which are going to be dominated by people with the whales and the big guilds anyway. Mm-hmm. So I guess I probably hate it less thinking about it. I just think anything like that gives favour to the people with the most money is a problem. But it's going to happen anyway, right? It's reality. But building that in from the start just sucks to me.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there are more favourable ways for everyone. But at the same time, I can see why something like that would happen, because I'm sure the team wants to add utility to the Polis token, right? So, the more that we kind of stray away from adding utility to that token, I think either way people are going to be unhappy, right? So I see what you're saying. I see what Newt is saying. I don't know. I think there's some middle ground somewhere.
I mean, if you do it that way, it's totally against decentralization, and in that point, I totally agree with MGR Easy. It does not make sense to implement a function or mechanic which is just terminating the idea of decentralization at all.
Funny thing that I actually thought this as a way to improve decentralization, because there will be so many stellar systems that actually the small polis rovers will be able to find their own regions, there won't be someone big enough to hold every single regional DAOs. That's why I wanted as many regional DAOs as possible, like not just a few regional DAOs, but thousands of them if possible, so that Polis would be very dispersed, very spread over the Star Atlas map. So even small holders would be able to vote and make a difference. That was my main idea. But yeah, your guys' insights are something really for me to think about and maybe try to construct something that could ease the financial power of Polis holders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good point. It's really, really interesting to think about.
I really liked the idea that you guys were discussing earlier today about the espionage stuff. Someone would care to elaborate for us now since we have our recording going on?
What was the idea exactly? A little bit? I don't remember it.
I guess Diego and both of you were discussing it.
Oh, Diego? Diego, you got anything for us? I'm calling you out.
Hey man, how are you? Hey guys.
I'm here to hear your voice, Diego. First time.
Yeah. Hi guys.
Hey Diego, how you doing, man?
Fine. And you?
Great, awesome. Well, it was something about the espionage gameplay, like the ability to sneak in a planet or in a space station, something like that.
Oh, yeah. I think that was me that was talking about that.
Yeah, it was you, Dominic.
Yeah, so what I was originally saying was I was hoping for more kind of on-foot fighting, if that makes sense. Like, you can actually fight on a planet. You can actually... an idea that I kind of wanted to bring up that I have is like a different spec of ship that is completely specialized in infiltrating another ship. So, like, I don't know exactly how it would look like, but, like, what if there was a ship that had, like, a drill on it, and you could drill inside, like, a Titan ship and actually get inside of it and actually infiltrate from within? I think that would be a really cool idea. I don't know if there's any plans for that, but I kind of just want more on-foot gameplay, because I think there's more opportunity for espionage and, like, sneaking, infiltration, planetary fighting. I think my ideal Star Atlas game is obviously dominated by space battles and stuff like that, but also has those kind of on-foot wars and stuff like that. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier anyway.
Like a first-person shooter built into the game?
Yeah, like, I'd say, like, I don't know exactly how it'd be built, but I'd say, like, when you're not in a ship and when you're not, like, traveling in space or discovering things in space, like, once you're on a planet and you're building stuff on a planet, I would think that you're first person, right? Like, you're first person, you're setting up things, you're working on, like, a mining drill, you're working on whatever other machines are on that planet, and you set up on your planet. I would assume that you're first person, right? Walking around and actually working on these things. So, just my view anyway. Love to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
We actually have this confirmed, right? That we will have our first person characters inside Star Atlas. I don't know. I'm under the impression that we will actually be able to fight off invasions in our mining operations due to NPC attacks and some stuff like that. I will check this out, but I think that's something totally possible, and I think that is really cool gameplay, like the ability to, I don't know, infiltrate yourself in a planet or some place, and you go there, hack the shield of the planet, and it suddenly goes, and then your armada comes and start bombing nudging the planet up. It would be really cool. I would like to play that.
Yeah, we asked, because the pirates, obviously, we want to take ships. We asked about being able to do something similar, sneak on board a ship and take it from the inside. And the dev said they wouldn't probably do that because they were worried about ruining people's investments in big ships, because obviously we target the Triaros and C11s, but they're thinking about a way of making it happen. So it sounds like there is possibilities of first-person stuff. Because
We lost you, Easy.
Yeah, we kind of cut out.
Yeah, I was just saying it'd be great if there was some sort of first fighting thing.
Yeah, I don't necessarily also think that just because you can infiltrate like a trio or something, that means that people will automatically lose their asset. Like if you have a trio, that means you automatically have more personnel on your ship as well. So theoretically, you'd be able to handle if someone invades you, like one small ship invades you or something like that. But I think if 100 ships with drills that can infiltrate your ship attack you from the inside, I think they would still beat you from the outside. So, I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal. Just my view, I guess. But I'm hoping there's first-person gameplay. Or third-person, whatever works.
Yeah, the same. I agree. I don't think it would be that big a problem. I think it just add a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
In massive battles, I wouldn't see it as impossible. I mean, like, if a big ship is almost alone and there's, let's say, about 20 ships flying around, shooting everywhere, if you have one small ship that manages to get through those defenses and actually blow up the doors or, get inside the ships, that would be really cool. You can disable the ship from the inside.
And that'll be badass.
Yeah, imagine us defending our ships like the stormtroopers in Star Wars,
I don't-
all the shots.
I don't think I'd be a fan of like maybe like one ship kind of infiltrating and then just shutting off the whole entire ship. But I think I would be a fan of like one ship getting through, right, and getting on this ship and killing like some of the crew members who are on like the turrets or like something like that is actually affecting the outside battle as well. So not a huge fan of like shutting down the whole ship with just one person infiltrating. But I think sabotaging from the inside would be better in my opinion, and I think it'd still be fun and badass.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You wouldn't obviously just infiltrate a big ship with only one person. You would be killed by the defenses inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kind of mechanic is really cool. And
It's possible.
I would like to see something like you disable a ship or kill the pilot and it's stranded, and then you use your tractor beam to get it into your cargo bay or something like a bike is attacking you. You shoot the pilot, and then the bike is drifting in the air. You take your tractor beam, put it to your cargo bay, and you got the NFT from the other player.
Yeah, that would be sick as well. This is really cool. I like that.
I mean, do we actually know that? Sorry.
Maybe not totally disable it, just weaken it, like the jump.
Yeah, exactly. Like weaken it. Yeah.
Do we actually know that we can exchange the owners of the NFTs, like for the ships?
I hope yes.
That's
I don't
a
know.
great question.
I always thought you destroy them and then maybe loot the modules and the crew in their pods or something like that. But I don't know if you could capture a whole ship. Would be cool though.
Yeah, Crypto Selecto in the chat had a good point. I don't know if any of you guys have played Sea of Thieves, but you can hide on someone's ship and like wait for a crucial moment, and you can like do like a little surprise attack. So I would love to see that in Star Atlas as well. Just kind of sneaking onto a ship, waiting for like an exact moment to like kill like a very crucial crew member in that ship. I think that would be really awesome. Crypto Select, it's a good idea.
I like the idea as well. I mean, we had this guy before who was playing Star Citizen. There it's possible that there was possible where you just can take over this ship. But the main issue I see is like the technical side of it. If you capture a ship, you have to transfer the ownership of the NFT from the first owner to the second owner. And that means that this transaction has to be, how can I say, automated and verified and stuff like that.
But I think that's easy, you know. My idea would be like if you start your mission, you fly out, you sign the contract, and then your ship is in escrow, and whoever brings it back, he gets it, you know, something like that.
If you have a big ship, that would be really crazy, right?
But if you go to the high-risk zone, you take that risk, you know?
Yeah, exactly, that's true.
This is awesome. Guys, you have an idea about ships designs, like the concept of ships that you'd like to see in game? I have one that's like for the manufacturer, you know. I dreamed about a ship that would like a big jump from Mario 64, you know, something like that, and that would be a melee ship that would actually try to eat away other ships in space. That would be sick.
You said a melee ship?
Yeah, a melee ship, man.
So kind of like the equivalent of I'm playing. Oh gosh, what's the new game everyone's playing right now that everyone's dying in? Gosh dang, Elden Ring. Yeah, there you go. Like in Elden Ring, there's like different classes and there's like range. So you're saying it'd be like the equivalent of in like Elden Ring, you have like an axe and like a ship has like some melee components where like you can like run into the ship or something. And,
yeah, look what I sent in the Atlas Brew, you know, something like the jump from.
Oh my god.
That would be crazy, man. Another ship.
That'd be actually super interesting.
Yeah, man, imagine that you go like a rock, you stay stealthy, and when people passes by, you jump them up. That would be cool, man.
That kind of builds off of the idea I was talking about earlier, where there's like my idea was there's like another spec of ship that specializes in infiltrating like these larger ships, and maybe the spec would be like drilling or something, and I guess you could qualify that as a melee ship because you kind of have to run and ram into the ship and actually drill into the ship so you can get on board. So I like your idea because it kind of builds off of the idea I was talking about.
Imagine the panic, man, when the guy sees it closes in and he's trying to leave and he can't, and oh my god, I'm gonna get eaten.
You know, the Rainbow Chi actually looks like it would already do that. It looks like an axe on the front. And
the Rainbow Chi looks like hold on, let me look at that actually.
Yeah, that looks like it would be able to slice right through anything like a butcher.
Like a blade, right?
Oh yeah, I could see that. That'd be really interesting actually. Where it can like run into things and it kind of like slides off, but it also cuts at the same time, so it doesn't damage your ship.
I may have misinterpreted, but I want to say that the chi and that whole the rainbow line, like the abilities could involve being able to like morph into a different shape or something, because it's like liquid. If you see some of the other images, you get that idea of like mercury, like liquid metal. Like what's the dude from Terminator, the one that would just melt into like a pool of metal and then reshape into something else and keep going?
The T-100.
No, T-2000.
Okay,
yeah.
That is imagine the Titan ship of the Fotoli manufacturer, like being able to change specs. Like he has a fighter spec, he has a bombardier spec, he has a fighter spec that would be sick, and he would be able to change between forms. That's crazy. I like that.
That's a good idea too, of ships that are multi-spec, or maybe even like they can morph into a different spec. There's like Hearthstone cards that kind of like they have like a choose one kind of game mechanic where you can kind of choose which one to do, and because it's so flexible, like the abilities that you can choose from aren't as powerful as like one who specializes in it, but having that flexibility is still really, really, really good. I really like that idea too.
Yeah, this is crazy. If someone
I
else
guess
has
so.
those ideas to share, please do.
Oh, I do.
Go for it.
What about some advanced stealth mechanics? Like some stealth ships? Like, for example, have some sort of ship designed, like, for example, like some black... Was that black plane? That was very stealthy back then?
The
SR-71.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly that. But attach torpedoes to them that can one-shot any ship, just like in Star Citizen. They won't even know.
Some ships.
Isn't that what the Visus Opod is, kind of, sort of?
No, not the OPOD. OPOD's actually more like a data runner. It's an explorer.
It's still stealthy,
It's
but I don't
stealthy
think
though,
it,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so that it can sneak through the space like that and chart out go to the uncharted territories. But yeah, but also the Chi, I want to say would kind of fit that stealth role as well. I want to say it's supposed to have stealth features also.
Like very stealthy, like the Eclipse from Star Citizen.
Yeah, you're probably gonna like the Rainbow line of ships. I'm sure there's gonna be another one at some point this year. I would assume. That's all speculation, but we've got 2 Rainbow line ships on the market right now: the Chi and the Ohm, and that kind of gives you an idea of theme and the potential of that manufacturer's designs. But yeah.
I think we have ships that. Go for it.
That bounty hunter ship, the Visus, that's also a stealth ship, isn't it?
Yeah, the Amway, how do you pronounce it?
The Amway?
Yeah, the Amway. That could almost double as what she's talking about, too.
I actually have 2 of them, but I've never heard anyone say the name. I always just read the word.
I don't know if any of these ships are particularly specialized in stealth. I think kind of in the descriptions they talk about it being stealthy, like maybe it just like has less like radar emissions or something where they can be detected or something. And it sounds like the person who's talking about like something specialized in stealth, like they want it like fully specialized in stealth, like they can go like invisible. Alex, if you could kind of talk about like what specific things are you looking for from like a stealth ship?
Alexei?
Speechless.
Okay.
He's being stealthy.
He's being stealthy. You went so stealthy that you can't even hear.
I'd say like the most stealthy ship we have right now is probably the Feist. Just because it can kind of morph into an actual crater and you can go right past it. Like you can go right past it, you're gonna have no idea, right? I mean, obviously that's also speculation, but I would say just description and mechanics alone, I would say the Feist is probably the most stealthy.
Does it have one-shot torpedoes?
I doubt it.
This kind of thing is not gonna be common in Star Atlas. I don't know. Maybe from bombardiers, maybe. But I would also like to highlight Ark, the leader of Equinox idea. Hey guys, currently in public transportation, hard to talk. But I like the idea of a modular science vessel, something you can deploy in deep space to do deep space scientific research. Modules can be swapped to include things like highest level medical bay, radar, biodomes, chemical manufacturing, and mineral research center. This is really interesting, Ark. I like that. Ship focused on research. This is cool.
I wonder how that works. So medical bay, radar, biodome, chemical manufacturing, and mineral research center. Okay, yeah, that'd be really interesting.
It's like a flying space station, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That would be cool.
And what you guys are thinking about in terms of deep space playing regarding the factions, You think that Photolis are good guys? I have a theory about that.
What's your theory on that?
I think that the Photoli are actually trying to trigger a war between factions, If you see the lore in some of the posters, you see that it was one of the Photoli that came to humankind and helped them reach the space throughout a light-based religion that they should seek a very special place inside the universe and stuff like that. And after they did that, they started a massive war, between the factions. Like the Mood reached the Cataclysm together with the Oni, And there was so many stuff happening at the same moment, like the assassination of Basil, and that drove the Onis to war as well. So I think that the Fotoli are playing in the background, with each faction, like maybe steering them to go to the center of space, to the cataclysm, and who knows, maybe there's something there for us to theorycraft about.
It sounds a lot to me like if you watch Stargate the series, like the last 2 seasons were about the Ori. They were the evil ascended light beings that created a religion to get stronger and had the strongest weapons in the universe at the time, the known universe. It sounds a lot like that.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
And maybe Tufor are the good guys that are trying to keep people away from the cataclysms. Like, they're actually working to keep us away from there, And they are referred as monsters and the scourge of cataclysms. But they might be actually just protecting us from destroying the universe or something like that. Maybe there's something that Fotoli wants, and they needed the factions to make war in order for them to reach there.
Yeah. That's a good theory, actually.
You like that, Sensei?
Yeah. You know that I am a big Tufa fan.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like that you're saying that we are kind people.
Yeah. Your rock planet-eating monsters would... what would be really cool? If the Tufa melee ship was like Commander class, at the size of a moon, and started moving, being gigantic and eating stuff away. And maybe this could be even a raid boss inside the deep space,
Will you be able to slide?
He would go traveling through the deep space, and whoever he sees, he would chase away and try to eat them up. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Imagine a Tufa Feist, right? But a huge one, like an anomaly one. And instead of a Tufa Feist who camouflages itself as like an asteroid, imagine a Tufa ship, a huge one that camouflages itself as a planet.
Yeah,
that would be imagine someone trying to land on you, and you just act as like a Venus flytrap or something, and you just that'd be crazy.
It would be full of resources on the surface, so it would be like, whoa, Newt, I had lucky today, let's get rich, and he would buy too.
That would be that's actually so cool. Yeah.
Jose, did you ever watch the movie Mortal Engines?
No, I have not.
Yeah, that's kind of like the same concept on the planet. There's like cities that eat other cities. You should watch it. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's cool. We need to vote on this on Police now. Like if this isn't a thing, we need to make it a thing.
I feel like I need this now.
Right, Sensei?
I have a question about the regional DAO, the original topic. Now, are you talking about, because you're saying like the different regions could go to war with each other, you're talking about hostile regions within, like, say, the Ooster? That's like a safe zone? Are you talking about having multiple regions that could actually be hostile to one another within a safe zone?
We are talking about the medium risk zone, or probably the high risk zone. But at the present moment, the developers of the game don't want players to be able to create DAOs in the high risk zone, But I think that this would be actually fun if we could have DAOs there. Some sort of colonization of the high risk zone, where we'll be attacked by NPCs, by other powers in Star Atlas. I think that would be nice, but something to discuss further on the line.
No way, no DAOs, no taxes. The HRZ is ours.
I'm like these pirates.
Damn, Peter Griffin 69 really got me there.
Who?
What?
Okay. American inside joke.
Yeah.
Anyone ever seen Family Guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something I've been thinking about for quite some time. Ships ideally are metal. You got magnets that, in theory, would stick to the side of a ship, and that opens up so many possibilities, including what you were talking about, penetrating a ship. It could be as simple as a small little vessel flying up and like magnetizing itself to the side of the ship, and like a sucker fish. If you're familiar with what I'm talking about, like the mouth is angled and it sucks to the side of the aquarium glass and just runs along it, right? If a ship like that just rolled up and like stuck itself to the side and cut a circle hole in the side of the ship with a laser, and then they essentially
That's kind of predictable.
access to shit, yeah. And I could totally see something like that being from the Ogrica line of ships.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, that's cool. Cool.
The Ogrica ships are my favorite ships, I think, so far. They are so good looking, my lord.
And another thing, one of the things that kind of spawned the whole idea with the magnets, I had mistakenly interpreted the image of the Pierce R8 repairing the side of the ship, and I thought that its right arm was actually like a magnet that was just stuck to the side of the ship, holding it in place while the left arm was working on it. And then I realized that it was actually a left and right arm that were working on it, and what I thought was the magnet of the right arm was actually one of the turrets. And but after seeing it that way, I couldn't help but think about having that ability, that attachment. The right arm of the R8 would stick to the side of the ship that it's working on to hold it in place while it works on it with the other arms.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting.
Ognart is sending us a message here on the Atlas Brew channel. He said that he would love to see fleet management tools like EV Online Fleet Window, enabling easy organizing of many people into several levels like squads and wings. I think that's a must-have for us because, as you guys can foresee, we'll have massive fleet battles and we'll need coordination if we don't want everyone blowing their own allies in the high risk zone.
Yeah, I'm sure other guilds will be making it, but we're going to make a tool like that eventually.
Yeah, that's something that the docs can do by themselves, right? And this is something that it's good that you said that, because lots of the things that we want to see in the full game of Star Atlas will be actually made by the community. Star Atlas will be mainly like player-driven content, especially at the end game. We will have all of those big guilds with lots of funding, with lots of developers and engineers. And I foresee that you guys will be like making lots of cool stuff for us, like develop new mechanics, develop arts, skins, even tools inside the game with the stuff that Star Atlas will make available for you guys. We'll see lots of cool stuff here, I'm sure.
Yeah, not even in like the later stages of the game, even when like the DAO comes out, I'm sure we can vote on things for them to actually add into the game, because they still have the power to vote on things, but I think if they see like something that isn't like very crucial to the game, I think they'll just let the community vote on it. So I think the community can just also, if they want to see something in the game in the short term, you can still vote on that when the DAO comes out and actually get that made into the game. Like if like a DAC wanted to create something, they could put out a vote and we could vote that their little implementation into the game. So I think that'd be really cool as well.
Yeah. Like, for example, I would really enjoy the ability to search for artifacts, inside the high-risk zone, for example. Like a career about like an explorer or an archaeologist, like you'd go to the ruins of old civilizations, you would learn. Maybe you could even find blueprints of ships that are forgotten, that doesn't belong to any manufacturer inside the current space in Star Atlas universe, you know? Stuff like that would be also really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
People are talking about different biomes in the Star Atlas Brew channel, like maybe an underwater world. That would be sick, right? Imagine you guys go inside the ocean, finding different stuff there. Would be nice. You know something that would be really cool? If Star Atlas or made it possible for us to create like television's network inside the game. Like we would have those different drones that would go around the world and film events in Star Atlas, and you could actually buy a signature for having news from every corner of Star Atlas universe, you know? And we'll see real world networks coming into Star Atlas to television, the events that are happening, the wars, the exploration, the everything that's going on, racing. That would be cool as well.
That would be really cool.
And
I wonder how they
way
would
for
do
the
that.
pro game, you know, like the way for us to actually get as a pro gaming stuff, you know, like people would
Oh,
watch,
like esports?
yeah, like esports, you know,
Yeah.
like people television or gameplay throughout the universe.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. A lot of my free time is in esports, so I would love to see more esports, especially in Star Atlas, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and imagine the narrator going like, and there he goes, the Titan is going, it's crumbling, it's exploding, boom, $1 million bird.
Yeah.
It would be crazy, man. People are like, what? Oh my god, they destroyed it.
That'll be fun for everybody that doesn't own a Titan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you are not the owner of the Titan, otherwise you'll be crying in the corner.
I think if someone has enough money to buy a Titan, I'm pretty sure they'll have some kind of insurance on it, though. So
Imagine the cost of insurance on a Titan ship, man.
Oh yeah, no, it would be insane. Yeah, no, it's like it's like car insurance, right? Like the more risky you are, the higher your insurance is. Imagine literally going into a high risk zone. Like you're taking on as much risk as possible. That insurance has to be crazy expensive.
But you know, in my opinion, the Titan ships will be like 90% of the time in the high risk zones. My opinion.
I mean, yeah, we're going to take our whole fleet right into the high risk zone. Day one.
Damn.
That's what I like.
There's gonna be a lot of broken hearts day one for sure.
Yeah, people. There will be an achievement in Star Atlas, like when you die the first time in the high risk zone. Welcome to Star Atlas, you know.
Welcome to McDonald's. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question about the risk zones.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys anticipate that you will be able to travel into other factions' safe zone? And how would that work if that's the case?
Yeah, absolutely. There is even a badge that lets you make commerce and gain reputation with other factions. So, but to get there, you need to cross the high risk zone. So yeah, you need to.
Or use a Stargate once we make it.
So if you were to enter into a safe zone of another faction, would that be still considered a high risk zone for you specifically?
No, I think that everyone is under the peace agreement of the Council of Peace, so you'll be protected there, you know. But of course, that if someone doesn't like your faction, they will be seeing you entering, and they probably will be watching you leave to the medium risk zone and to the high risk zone. So, yeah.
They're just gonna follow you.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, you talking about entering as a hostile or as an ally?
Well, I don't know. It could be like as a spy, for example. Even like could you go and spy on individuals in their safe zones, and let's say you were to get caught, would you be could they blow you up? Because would that be considered a high risk zone for you as well?
No, I think that the low risk zones are like a feature from the Council of Peace. Like there's a treaty on the lore of Star Atlas that establishes that the space under the faction control, the low risk zone and the medium risk zone, are under protection. Like you will be safe there, even if you are not from that faction.
Yeah, I assume that's what it's going to look like as well. I don't know how many of you have played New World, but you can go into like other factions kind of territory, and no one can like attack you or anything. It's not like you're friendly with those people, but you can still go on their easy. I mean, not easy, but their low risk zone, and like because I'm assuming as like Oni, you go into like Mud faction, you can go to like the Mud territory and buy like Mud stuff, obviously for probably a premium, but I'd assume that's how it works, and no one's gonna attack you when you're in those low risk zones of other factions.
It would be pretty cool to see if you had to like purchase like a pass to get into those safe zones.
Oh no, I think there is one actually.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is a faction badge that allows you to do that.
I have a question about that. What if you don't?
Meta pass. Sorry, go for it.
What if you go in the safe zone without the pass?
Sorry,
I didn't
your
understand.
audio was kind of bad.
That be our overall idea without the pass?
What if you go in the safe zone without the pass?
Oh, I think you might need the pass to get into the zone.
Is there an invisible wall stopping you?
I think there's a lot of speculation there. I mean, maybe like literally you need the pass to actually get inside their safe zone. Like I don't know, maybe there's an NPC or something that won't let you in unless you have it.
Maybe they won't let you inside the stations, like the space stations and territories like that, but you would be able to fly across the galaxy.
Or maybe you can actually go into whatever faction you want, but if you don't have a faction pass, like the people of that faction can kill you if you're in there without a pass or something.
I prefer that one.
Yeah, we need some clarification, but I think the main purpose, as some Skara spoke right now in the Atlas Brew chat, is that to enable you to trade in the different factions. Maybe
Okay.
you have rights to go into the faction, do your stuff, but you won't be able to, live there for a long time.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think we just need more information on that.
Big shout out to Samskara. He knows a lot about Star Atlas.
Yeah, he knows his stuff.
Yeah, he knows. So, on this topic, we were theory crafting. I'm not sure if it was in an Atlas Brew, but it was in post chat on how do you think that the market, like the ship markets, will work in the different factions? Do you think that, for example, if you're in the mod faction and you want to buy an ownership, you will have like to pay it more expensive than if you buy it in the Oni?
I think there's 100% going to be a premium for sure.
Yeah.
Even if there's not. Sorry, go ahead.
Depends who you buy it from.
That's true too. Or steal it from.
That's true.
I mean, even if you pay the same price as anybody else, you still have to ship it to your area, and that's going to cost a lot.
So let's take, for example, the largest shipbuilding guild, AFIA, right? If they're multi-faction, I don't think they're going to charge each of their members a different price for the ships.
Yeah, no, that's a good point actually. That's true.
But you have to take them through
Good point.
the red zone to get them, until we make the Stargates, you have to take them through the red zone to get them to the other faction. Once you sell them, they don't just teleport. They're geolocated, so.
Oh, they're geolocated, yeah. That.
Thanks for the alpha for me, sir.
they will be geolocated. They're not right now.
I see.
Yeah, I think that the coordinates are going to live in the metadata of the ships.
That is super, super interesting.
Yeah, that opens a whole new conversation on logistics and transportation. And
You said you have to take it through the red zone, correct?
Yeah. You need to take it from to the red zone.
Dude, that sounds like hell. Holy crap.
Sounds like heaven for me.
Yeah,
One
for a
of my
pirate.
articles, I spoke about the logistics industry, and I think that they will dictate the dynamic of the economy in Star Atlas, because you will only be able to buy like raw materials in an instantaneous manner, like you click and you will receive the ores. But if you want to buy anything from the guys, I got to go right now. Sorry for interrupting like this. I'll try to be right back. Just a moment.
I'll add on to this. I think knowing that now, that I totally forgot there's a high risk zone between like factions. So transporting a ship, I feel like it's gonna almost be like you're walking down like your high school hallway and there's a bully there and he won't let you through unless you pay him. I feel like there'll be a lot of that. Like that's bomber. So like instead of like always fighting people and like stealing what they have, because you're wasting resources as you do that as well. So it might be better for pirates to just be like, hey, you want to get through this, you're gonna have to pay us like this fee, instead of actually just stealing it. I think there'll be like, obviously there'll be stealing, but I'm saying like it won't cost you any resources at all to just be like, give us money or we're gonna steal this by force or something like that.
You can also just throw your ship in with the however many other ones that Club and Bulk are running this month. But, we're not going to do that every day, and people aren't always going to want to pay our prices. So
it's a good point, too.
Like for transportation?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of Bulk's big, things, tasks that they're going to perform for the IA is helping with transport. So Club's going to do that, too. We're going to be really involved in security, and we plan on moving ships back and forth.
Yeah, it's definitely, in my opinion, going to be a big part of the game.
Yeah, security is going to be super important.
So I need to get with some of them and build some alliances. Like I said, I haven't joined any club, any guilds yet, but I am set up for transport and security.
Yeah, a lot of DACs already have an insane amount of alliances. They've already thought about all this stuff. Like ship makers, like Afria, are definitely probably have some sort of alliance with some bodyguards or something like that. And a lot of these alliances are happening even before the game. So when the game comes out and like the game actually becomes super like explosive popularity happens, the people in these DACs and these guilds beforehand will have such a leg up. I think that's something that isn't really talked about enough, actually. Just how ahead, like, all these DACs are right now.
Yeah, everybody here is already playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
This is the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without us, it wouldn't exist anyhow. So there you go. You're right.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, I don't think that's fine. We talked about a shared border with IA in a high risk zone, and that's going to be a pretty big area that we'll both, be a part of. So it's definitely already happening.
Like an alliance for controlling certain zone of the deep space.
Yeah, and we'll share a big shared border so that we don't have to worry about that wall.
Oh, that's actually really interesting. So it's kind of like a circle, and then you guys are like taking half of the circle each, and you guys don't have to worry about your back that way. Is that kind of like what you're talking about?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I mean, there's right. Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't have to be a circle, but I'm just because you were talking about people already making deals. I mean, the club's been a part of the IA
I don't know why PG can't hear us. The club's been a part of the Interstellar Alliance since way back, right? Vlad and Christian were friends when the game first started, so yeah, we're just continuing that alliance.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm joining in a little bit late, but better late than never. What's the current topic right now?
Current topic.
Ships, break zones, guilds, alliances. It's pretty interesting. Dream and Dragon dropped some alpha on deals that the club is making. I love it.
Also, if you have like an idea that you would like in the game, we're also taking notes to give to the team, just so they know what the community wants and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have a
For my part, though, I just want Utopia to be a real thing. That's it.
Yeah,
you want what
everybody wants that.
Utopia.
Oh.
Yeah. So something that I'm thinking right now, I don't know if we have this already. I might have been missing something. But speaking like of transportation, it would be cool to have like a big ship that is only focusing on transportation in risk zones, where you, for example, can put other ships inside that one, and that ship might be like more difficult to destroy.
So kind of like a capital like Thimble BYOS attack, right?
A C11?
I mean, like super specialized in so it doesn't break, you know. So
there's like a gigantic turtle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah,
something like that. That would be cool. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think there should definitely be a ship like that. It just kind of reminds me of like the Thimble BYOS Packlight that specializes in freight, and it doesn't look pretty. I mean, it is pretty, but it doesn't look pretty compared to the other ships because it specializes in actually just carrying things and being just kind of like that tank. So I think just a larger version of that, I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah,
I think it was the club who was talking about transporting ships, and I'm sure if there was like a ship that came out that specialized in transporting ships and stuff like that, I'm sure that would be a very common ship for sure.
Yeah, like a big carrier, like a giant turtle, but the ship that it's really really difficult to destroy.
You don't want to know what I would do with that ship.
Yeah, I don't. It will be like the biggest enemy for you, a ship like that.
I think you're mistaken.
A pirate counter.
Yeah, anti-pirate ship. That would be cool. Anyone else has any ideas that wants to share?
Yeah, don't be shy. Put your ideas out there.
Yeah, imagine if it gets implemented in the game after this.
So the other issue when it comes down to resources is also going to be fuel and food. So on the topic of fuel, I know that like fuel can be obtained from basically if you've got a mining operation, some of the resources coming out of the ground may end up being fuel and not whatever material you were after. But aside from that, especially for space exploration, it would make sense if, kind of like Elite Dangerous, you got like a fuel scoop, and there's certain stars out there, like a fuel star. Not every star is the right type of fuel, but you just fly around it and scoop energy basically, and continue on exploring.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Because, I mean, there's not going to be any gas stations or anything out in the unexplored parts, especially in the high-risk zone. So, you gotta find a way to harvest fuel out there.
I think there have been like businesses, not businesses, but Dax have talked about having like a bunch of kind of gas stations, if you will, in the high risk zone, just so people have somewhere to stop and get this fuel. I think it'll be a pretty lucrative business. My only thing is having a business in the high-risk zone, I think is just going to be insane, because they're going to see like pirates, and then pirates are just going to be like, I don't want these people to have gas, and then like boom, just blows it up. So I don't know. I know people have talked about having like a gas station business in the high-risk zone. I just don't see it actually happening unless they have like an alliance with pirates or something, where they get like a certain percentage.
Could they buy some type of neutrality?
What do you mean by neutrality?
Like somehow be neutral to all the factions in the high-risk zone, specifically to sell fuel.
I don't know if that would be possible, because to actually build something, you have to be a part of a faction, right? Like you can't just. I don't think there's going to be an option to be neutral, but
you don't have to be a part of a faction. You can be factions.
You don't. Oh, I learn something new every day.
We're going to try to build a city in the high-risk zone. We're going to try to make a whole area. I mean, why not? So, if people are talking about, there's going to not be DAOs, then that's right. There won't be Polis DAOs in the high-risk zone. But if we can set up a safe area, then everybody's going to pitch in.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And then someone nukes it.
Yep.
Sorry, go for it. Okay.
They're going to need a big nuke to take out our fleet, but it is possible.
No, but the thing is with manufacturing, you would still need to be with a faction depending on the manufacturing that you're going to go for and so on. In order to manufacture something, you need to have a relationship with a faction. So
that's kind of what I was
thinking. You're
thinking.
going to be the Pierce. For instance, the only ship that you will be able to build out that isn't part of any of the factions and so on would be like the plain Fimble. The plain Fimble itself and everything like that isn't associated with in like any faction, but it is your cheapest ship that is out there and everything like that. Everything else you need like a certain level of reputation with and so on in order to build it from them and so on. Whether it's like Fatoli, Norvik, any of those and so on, you need a certain amount of reputation in order to construct their ships and so on to get their blueprints. Otherwise, till then and so on, you won't be able to build their ships.
Good point.
We missed you, Ronin.
How
have you been?
Good. Been busy. Very.
Yeah, I know. I miss your voice, Ronin. Give me a virtual hug.
Virtual hug? Thanks, Santi. When are you going to sing for me, Santi?
No. Yeah.
So yeah, in order to have a form of structuring or manufacturing something, you need to have an association with a faction. If you want to be in a neutral zone and so on, by all means you can. But that does mean before the time or prior to the time, you would need to have at least some sort of relationship in order to get the blueprints from that faction in order to build those ships. So you would have to have some sort of association with a faction.
My mind is exploding.
Okay.
Just go factionless and steal them.
I mean,
go factionless, be a pirate and steal them. You don't have to make them.
It depends. Like I've been reading in the comments about the whole thing of like where maybe say cargo could be a ship and everything like that, depending on like the transport ships and so on. I don't know if that's going to be a possibility and everything like that, because a ship is a relatively big asset. I don't know if that's going to be so much of a possibility. And as well as like if somebody is carrying a bunch of ships and everything like that, they're not going to be by themselves or anything like that. They're going to have maximum protection. And if they are by themselves, then I guess it's just more free loot for whoever's going to pirate that and everything like that. But at the end of the day, if I'm a person who has, maybe like $20,000 worth of ships that I know can be stolen as assets and so on, you think I'm going to like just give over my assets for the ship and so on? No, I'd rather burn it and die with the ship and everything like that. Give over the assets. Because then all the other ships that are on board of my ship would also burn and die. But, I mean, there's still so much room for possibilities with that.
guess I have a quick question regarding like the autopilot part of the game. I'm assuming that even if you log off, your ship remains in the spot in the game. Is that correct?
So yeah, so if you're gonna log off and everything like that, you basically where you have logged off is where your ship will still be when you log on. But your asset, the ship itself, will no longer be present in the metaverse at that time till you are logged on again. From what I understand. So your asset,
even in the high risk zone.
Yeah, I believe that's also something like that.
So there's a little bit of a controversy there, because let's say I am surrounded by an enemy.
Yeah.
And I log off. What happens then?
There's going to be a timer. You can log off, but that your asset will still stay there. If you're, there's going to be a timer. In most games and so on, there's always that possibility where you can log out. I mean, in high risk zones. I mean, take Albion Online for instance. Albion Online has the black zones. The black zones are your most dangerous zones. But in order to log out of Albion Online in those zones, you have a minute timer that's ticking down the whole time. So you can't move. If the moment you move is the moment that timer resets itself. So you literally will be on a timer. And like people are saying as well, like if you get hit, that timer resets. It literally resets the whole time. So people will not be able to combat log and save their assets.
And let's say you're doing like a... Go ahead.
Go for it. No, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, like, let's say you're doing like some sort of transport, like you're transporting a freight through a high risk zone. You have to stay online the whole time. You can't just put your vehicle on autopilot, even if you have the ability of being destroyed.
So I believe you would have like an autopilot functionality and so on in order to get to your destination. But I mean, like, what's that going to save you from? I mean, like, you switch on the freight and then you're going to go to sleep and so on. I mean, if your ship gets destroyed in that zone and everything like that, you will your fleet is like your freight is lost and everything like that. As well as if you take up a mission and so on, I'm pretty sure missions are going to have a time-based thing and so on. You would need to finish a mission that you've picked up within, like, say 24 hours or something like that. Or I don't know. Might be a little bit longer than that. I definitely don't know on that specifics right now, but you would have like a set time that you need to finish the mission. So if you were to log out and you were to go over that set time and everything like that, I mean, you're not going to get any more rewards from that mission, for instance, if it is in a high risk zone at all, depending on the mission.
That makes sense.
I would imagine there's also going to be different length missions at some point where you have a mission for 24 hours with a certain reward, or you can be devoted to an 8-hour mission that pays a lot more.
Yeah, there will definitely be diversity in missions and things like that. And we'll just have to wait and see exactly like what's going to be more rewarding and things like that for the short term and so on. Remember, this is all still, there's still like so much development that has to go behind a lot of these things and so on. But the main thing is and so on is that the missions and everything like that is capable of being done. But yeah, I definitely think there will be like short-term missions and then long-term missions as well.
It'll be interesting to see, like, even just to see how it's structured, because let's say you build like a space station or a city out in a high-risk zone. If you have your ship docked on the station and you log off, like, is just because you're in a high-risk zone, you'd have to have some sort of timer again. It'll be interesting to see how they structure that.
What do you mean by that? Like, since that you logged out there, it takes like some time to log back in, or is since that you're in the space station now, you're kind of like in a sense safe?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, are you safe because you're in a high-risk zone, right? Like, would you have to travel back into the safe zone for you to log off, even if you've built some sort of station out in the high-risk zone?
No, I'm pretty sure if you're out in the high-risk zone and you have that timer that's ticking down and so on, there may be like a structure where, depending on the zone, there may be like longer timers to log out. So let's say like medium zone may have like 3-minute timer. Maybe say like red zone has like 6-minute timer to log out or something like that. Because or whatnot. It doesn't either which way. It's I don't know exactly the specifics behind it, but how I would believe it would be structured and so on in regards to space stations and so on, is if you have permission to dock in a space station and that space station is not currently under attack, you would be allowed to log out faster. Like then the timer would basically decrease because now you're technically in a safe space. You know what I mean?
Under their protection or whatever.
Correct. Under the protection of that space station. And that space station allows you to log out quicker because, you know, you're docked now and everything like that. So I would say like that's a possibility, maybe. But still, like, yeah, there'll probably be different timers depending on different zones.
Until you log in the next morning and we're unfortunately losing a horrible war and you're docked in the space station that's being attacked.
Yeah, I would be very sorry for you as well.
Have one of those NHL goal alarms above your bed if something happens.
Well, I mean, like, that's not a bad idea. That's the amazing thing about the SDK that's going to come in about it. So you're going to be able to make things where if your property or your land is being hit, you could make a program that would basically fetch the data that something's under attack, and that may come and alert your phone or your watch or whatever, maybe your PC or whatever, just sends a notification in order to inform you that, you know, something's going on, for instance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're speaking about achievements, in-game achievements, in the Atlas Brew chat.
I could see that over there.
Yeah, I personally, I love them. Like, that's what makes me go like hardcore in games, stats and achievements and all that. And we were speaking about the possibilities of having like achievements in the game. Like, for example, when you travel, I don't know how many kilometers in deep space, you get like a badge that is also like an NFT, and that you can even sell if you want. That would be cool. Something
That'd be actually really cool. And if they tied like maybe to certain kind of achievements, you get like a little reward. So like, what if you travel a certain distance and then you get like a nice little spray that you can put on your ship to like customize your ship a little more. So you get something unique from doing that. And I think that'd be really cool. I think there's a lot of things you can do with achievements.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things that could be a possibility for the future and so on is where achievements would come in, like you said, in the form of an NFT. And then if you have the art gallery section on your ship and so on, you could have like a section where you could put your achievements as badges on the walls of your ship. Or even if you were to have like a living quarters down on a space station, you could take these achievements and put them on the walls of your living quarters in order to show people exactly what you've done and what's been going on with it.
Yeah, something that we're speaking there in the chat is, should the achievements be tradable, like as NFTs? What do you think?
I don't believe they should be tradable. An achievement and so on is something that you've earned as a person and everything like that. Maybe say like, if there was a cosmetic added to it or something like that, maybe then that becomes tradable. But that's still a heavy maybe as well. But otherwise, achievements themselves and so on shouldn't be tradable. You don't want somebody who hasn't done something to be verified for something that they haven't done, for instance.
Maybe you can have like, if you go and see the achievement that someone has, you can see like second owner or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So you can tell.
Maybe, but at the same time, I don't think they'll ever be tradable.
Yeah, I don't think achievements should be NFTs just so they're not tradable. Because, like Ronan's saying, you don't want someone to get like the craziest achievement in the game and then just sell it to someone who like uses it as like clout or something. Like, oh, I did this, but they never did it.
They get punished with an impersonator badge or something like that.
Well, like Sam Scara said in chat, I mean, what if you sold, let's say I got the rarest achievement in the game and then I sold my wallet? I would imagine the achievement goes with it.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, if people are really going to go to that lengths, I mean, there's certain things that, I mean, There's nothing that people that Star Atlas team can basically do to prevent that. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, person can brag all they want and everything like that. But if you were a person who successfully achieved that whole thing, and you were to talk to them about that whole thing, and they couldn't explain it to you, you'd know they're fake right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something like that's actually like new in the gaming space. Like, that's a great question. Should achievements be tradable? That's super interesting. In my opinion, you in some way you should be able, like, you should have the ability, if you want to sell what you achieved. For example, if you don't want to play anymore or something like that, you like cash out and sell the achievements or something like that.
I don't think. Sorry, you go for it, right?
Well, I think the solution would be to tie a rare achievement to a rare skin or to something like that. And then if you want to trade your one amazing rare skin, I mean, go for it, right? You achieved it, it's yours.
That's a really good idea, actually.
It's part of the free market, right? Yeah.
But yeah, like if it was a cosmetic that came with it, like you guys said, like a spray or a skin and so on, then yeah, maybe those will probably be tradable and everything like that. But the achievement, like the whole badge itself and everything like that, that shouldn't be tradable, not even in the least. Because
I don't think so
credit
either.
for that. The person should never take credit for that. Like you add that achievement and so on, but you got you can sell the cosmetic all that you want.
Yeah, maybe you can have it as an NFT, but it says your name, for example.
That's how you can buy a Titan, and then that's how you can pay it off, right? Everybody's going to want to get the I piloted a Titan achievement, so you just charge each of them however much Atlas, and boom, you paid for your Titan.
Boom, business idea.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Also stats. I love stats as well, like in-game stats. Which, what would be cool? I'm not sure if this is happening or not, but like the ships having stats. Like, for example, when the ship becomes like the unique NFT, having like if you have like an opal jet, miles travel, races won, and all that, and then if you buy it, it can maybe like have a bigger price in the market just because it's an OG ship or something like that,
That's super interesting, actually, now that I think about it. Like a racing ship, right? Like if it keeps like the record of all the races that you've done, like a ship that has like a 30-0 record is probably going to sell more than a ship that has like a 20-30 record or something like that. I think if like wins and losses are tied to that ship and that NFT, then I think that brings more value into actually winning, into actually building good stats, stuff like that.
Earn a reputation like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Well, it happens with racehorses, right? I mean, you've got a racehorse that wins X amount of races. People want that horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And
the only differences and so on is that ships will be configuratable, like in line with one another, for instance. So you could configure a ship in the same dynamic as the one that's currently winning the most. But then the person behind the vehicle and so on, who's actually piloting the vehicle, if they understand the how should I say it, the mechanics behind operating that vehicle at its most optimal then there. So it's more so that value itself and everything like that in a product, which may be a ship and everything like that, might not be as high or as great as more hiring the individual who's behind the piloting of the vehicle. Because vehicles will be configuratable with one another or compatible towards any configuration if you find out what that person's configuration of that ship is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think there's still value, even if the ships can be configured in the same manner. I think having that ship that some legendary player used to get like this crazy record, that is like there's a lot of value in that. Or like having that 30-0 record or something is still like valuable. But I know what you're saying. You can configure any without buying the 30-0 record ship. I just think maybe it just increases the price by like $1 or something. Nothing crazy, but if there's like some legendary player who had like a crazy ship, it'd be cool to have their like 35-2 record that they went on this massive streak in and beat everyone.
Oh yes, no, 100%.
That would be dope.
I 100% agree in that regard and so on. But it's at the same time it's like that. Like I said before, it's the player who will define like basically the ships and so on. So it's not how the ship has been configured and so on. It's the players behind the ships and so on. That will
but if Ronaldo hands you a ball from the championship that he used to score a goal, that ball is lucky and it's better than every other ball on the planet.
yeah, exactly.
To customers, it doesn't have any further value than any other, but it has that kind of value from where it came from and the story behind it.
I 100% agree that value dependent on like the players behind the vehicles and so on will definitely be something that will come into play. 100%.
Yeah. I would love if some artists would be able to modify their ships like with some paintings and decals and something like that, because then of course some famous artist who's modifying the ship makes the value of the ship much higher maybe.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean the SDK is going to allow for that kind of stuff to basically be implemented in some where you would have third-party integration where you could basically define or make a system where that is a possibility and so on, for that level of customization.
So editable skins?
So more so, not so much edible skins, I would say more customizable, or custom skins, basically, in a sense. So long as it's within the parameters that the Star Atlas team puts in place and everything like that, skins will be a big thing for this game as well. It's not only the ships themselves and so on, but skins will be a big thing. I mean, skins has been a big thing throughout multiple games. CSGO, Dota 2, League of Legends, and the list carries on and on.
Absolutely, that's what I'm missing actually, that you are able to put in your own creativity on your ships, right?
But what you need to understand right now is that we're in the infant stages of Star Atlas. There isn't anything for UE5 out yet or anything like that with it. We're just waiting for the showroom and everything like that. So you might be missing that right now, but the possibility for that in the future is 100% there. CSGO's customization and so on, they came out with it first. They made the skins themselves, and then they put it up to the public to start making the skins and vote the skins in and so on.
That makes absolutely sense. I think cool.
Yeah, the possibilities are really limitless in this case.
Yeah, but realistically, it's going to be, 5-7 years away? Don't get it. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
It depends, though. It genuinely does depend on how much the team firstly grows by, and then how much more of the development comes into place and so on. But yeah, realistically and so on, what you need to aim for with Star Atlas and everything like that and so on is that you're trying to set yourself up currently and everything like that, but you're more so looking to not set yourself up, but your next generation up for inheriting everything that comes with Star Atlas and so on. That's the nice thing about Star Atlas, is that how you structure it and how you think about it now is that when you do play the game and everything like that and so on, you're going to enjoy it. But those assets that keep on growing and growing and growing and growing further, not necessarily going to more so benefit you, but the next generation that comes around and so on as well. So you're setting yourself, not only yourself up, but your next generation as well at the same time.
My daughter isn't even a month old yet, and it's perfect timing because she's going to grow with this game and she's going to inherit this game. She'll probably be playing it by the time she's 7, which, think 3 to 7 years from now, that's about what we want to see in the game, right? So, she'll be playing it hardcore by 7.
Hell yeah. That's badass.
Yeah. And that's the thing and so on. It's for me and everything like that, this game I'll definitely play when I'm older and everything like that, but am I setting this up for myself or for my future generation and everything like that? And it's mainly for them and everything. I enjoy what I do, I love what I do and everything like that in Star Atlas itself and everything like that, but I'm setting it up for the future generation and everything.
Aren't you afraid that the bigger expectations can lead to a bigger disappointment, I mean?
Not really, because I would say, in a sense, it's more so how people are perceiving the expectation and everything like that. What you need to understand is this is like literally we're on the forefront development of what this product has to offer. The amount of virtual reality that's going to be brought in and everything like that, the amount of effort that's being brought in, the financial aspect behind it and everything like that. Lots of games, companies and things like that aren't doing the same as what we're doing and so on. I understand people have an expectation when it comes to a game, but what are the future applications for this? We have a far more diverse world and everything like that. What's coming about and everything like that. Everything is moving across to Metaverse. A lot of things are going to Web3 now and everything like that. Massive companies are coming in. McDonald's, all your Nike, your Adidas, and things like that, and so on. And what is that setting up the opportunity for you, where your generation and everything like that won't need to go to a 9-to-5 anymore. The next generation basically won't need to go to a 9-to-5 anymore. They will be able to do everything at home and experience it all at home. So the thing is like expectations can be high and everything like that. Everybody's entitled to their own expectations, but what is the realistic factor behind this and so on? Is that things take time to make and so on, and things take sometimes a very long time to make. But is the patience and how everything is going on around us and so on worth the wait? How the world is taking more and more grasp of what the metaverse is all about and everything like that, and what it's going to offer for the future. And you're here in the beginning, and you're here in a game that may be the very big starting point for metaverse exploration in a far more advanced sense. I mean, that's worth it for me.
I guess the same was thought when Star Citizen just started, 15 years ago, and still in development, of course. But yeah, all the people who have invested in that game are hoping that the next generation can benefit from it.
And we did, right? Now we're at Star Atlas, and we're not just making Star Atlas, we're trying to start the metaverse. And so if we fail, the worst case scenario is we fail greatly, and we show the world that the world does want the metaverse, and we've already done that. And we open up everybody's eyes to what it can be. And the worst possible scenario is we fail greatly and everybody still goes, wow, they really tried hard, and we're going to take what they just did and make it into something better. And I would imagine if this team failed greatly, they would just step into the next project and make that one better too. So it's a learning curve that can only help like us as a human race, I think, move into this, broader digital world.
Agreed. And not only that the Star Atlas team itself and everything like that is constantly expanding. And with that, more and more of the expansion of the team and everything like that, with their goals and everything like that, what does that show us? Even though right now maybe the expectations might be high and what we receive and everything like that might be low, or in comparison towards what the expectations could be and everything like that. What does that mean? They're absolutely dead on serious about bringing about this metaverse as quickly as possible for us. But in that saying of quickness, it's also to make sure that everything is working 100%, to make the fairness of how this all goes down across the entire board equal for everybody. Because you don't want anybody to be taking exploits or using exploits within this game in order to benefit themselves more so over than you or somebody else. So there's a lot of thought and time and effort that has to go into all of these things of thinking about how are these exploits going to be done, or how could we prevent the exploits from being done and everything like that. So it's just the whole thing about time and just waiting more so for more people to come on board and everything like that. And then just obviously constantly just pushing your support in the Star Atlas team's way and so on. I mean, that's literally all they can ask for at the end of the day. They're striving every single day to make this game as as much as possible, or as quickly as possible, and as great as possible for everybody to enjoy from whatever platform or from whatever other metaverse you may have originated from, whether it's EVE Online, whether it's Star Citizen, or whether it's No Man's Sky, that everybody can have an opportunity to enjoy this just as much as anybody else.
Ronin. Not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
You know, and you can't overlook like the fact that in the past studios have made games and we've had fan bases and stuff, but when Star Atlas started, the fan base became creators. Like the guilds became creators and have made amazing things. And this is brand new for gaming, merging with the players and everything, and this is not going to go away. So even, just the worst we can do is we're breaking ground for the entire future of gaming, right? This is the future of gaming.
Yeah, definitely. And what everyone needs to know is that the Star Atlas team shares that vision, and it's actually what we are doing. Exactly what we are doing. We are building like the foundations for something that will be later in the hands of the community, and the development and everything will be done from that side. I mean, the community is going to own Star Atlas, and that's when the most interesting part of everything comes to life, That's why the DAO is so important. I'm really looking forward to that, because we haven't seen this in the past. We are doing something completely new.
Well, I will do kind of like the Devil's Lawyer. That's some Spanish version. I don't know if in English it's the same, but I always think to the good of the debate, someone has to disagree. And even when I'm a fan of Star Atlas, I have all my hopes on it. I really think it's going to be a great game and a great place to be. I have been around games since I have like 8 years old, and I'm leaving out of games like from 10 years old. I started playing Tibia and other things. And what I'm afraid is that people that enter into a game but doesn't want to play and don't have fun in it is not people that will stay there. And what I'm seeing around, not everybody, there's a huge amount of people that love the play, love the concept, love the freedom that this will give you to create, to participate, to create a community and all that. But I still believe that most of the people are here to win money. I'm gonna buy 2 chips and I will be rich in 10 years. That's the vision I get from most of the people online. Not in Discord, because in the Discord, every day is the people that want to create community and speak with each other. But I mean in forums, like in Facebook sites, in YouTube videos. I don't know, that scared me a bit, because if the game fails into providing what they think that is offering that it's not, and maybe this can get to a point where people can actually play. I don't know if I can explain myself. English is not my hard point there.
I kind of understand what you're what you're trying to say and everything like that, but like how people, I understand people. Everybody wants to find a get-rich scheme, and they want to, or a quick get-rich scheme, shall I say, or system or whatnot and so on. It's more so based about like your research, time that you put in, and everything like that. And the people who want to have, like, they say, buy 2 ships and get rich in like 10 years and everything like that, the possibilities are endless that could be something that could happen depending on the ships. Can't expect to put in say like 2 $20 ships and in 10 years time expect like millions and billions of dollars out of it and so on. that's kind of like it's kind of not realistic and everything like that. But it's also about how much time, effort, and money people put in. Basically, at the end of the day, that results in whether or not somebody can get rich or whatnot and so on. And I understand that maybe say some people aren't happy with like some of the gameplay applications that come about and so on. But I mean, at the same time, it goes the same with multiple games and so on. They have like a starting up phase and everything like that. The people who are there from the beginning are the ones that benefit the most and everything like that. And they lose some of the player bases along the way and everything like that. Some people get disinterested and, then you lose some of the player base. But once more and more features and things starts coming in and more and more exposure comes upon the platform, then there's a steamroll of people that come in because of what Star Atlas is going to offer. Not a lot of people, I would say, it's not that not a lot of people know about Star Atlas. I would say not a lot of people have done enough research about Star Atlas or are, how should I put it, intrigued by the crypto world enough in order for them to take part in this and so on. But over the next few years and everything like that, crypto is becoming more and more evident in our lives and everything like that. I mean, over, I think, like the past 2 years, crypto has absolutely taken off like a rocket ship. And I mean, that's just over the past 2 years now and so on. And what's going to happen now for the rest of our future and everything like that. So like people have noticed crypto because crypto is now a big thing. Trading, your altcoins, your ETH, Bitcoin, Sol. It's just a matter of time before more and more people adapt to it and so on. Some people don't like it and want it right now and so on, but it will become more and more of an evident thing in our lives. And when games like Illuvium, Star Atlas, and these ones come out more and more, so people are going to take more notice to it, and then they're going to get more intrigued, and they're going to ask like, what else is out there? Is there a space game that's out there and so on that offers me a play to earn application or opportunity and so on? And that's going to be Star Atlas.
Yeah, you have a valid point, Ronan. And sorry to say this, but I have to go. It's kind of late in my place. We are nearly at 2 hours of conversation. I'm loving this. Probably I'm going to bring some popcorn for the next one because I really, really enjoy the conversation and listening to everyone. So I would like to kind of officially end the Atlas Brew, but not discourage everyone from staying and continuing the conversation if you want. So this has been the official Atlas Brew. Thank you very much for joining. We love having everyone here. We love talking. We love brainstorming. We love going crazy with ideas. And we really appreciate everyone who comes here just to listen, and also the people who come here to share ideas and everything. I took notes about all the call I will be sharing with the team. If anyone else took notes of the ideas and everything, feel free to reach out to me, send that to me, and I will add that to the document that I'm preparing. So thank you very much for joining. If you want, you can stay. Probably a lot of community members will stay in the conversation. And again, thank you so much for joining. And this was the Atlas Brew number 4. We will see you next Wednesday in the next Atlas Brew. And also tune in 10 minutes earlier for next Wednesday because we're going to do a quiz and the winner will get a ship. That's the alpha for today.
I get to play in the quiz, Santi? I want to play in the quiz.
Yeah, you can play in the quiz. You can play in the quiz.
Hey Santi, before you go, this is Lumina.
Oh, Lumina wants alpha. Yeah, Lumina, tell me.
Did you have a chance to ask the team about the 3D models? Are they going to use the mannequins, or are we going to be able to see the characters? You said you're going to ask them.
Oh, I think I have the answer. Let me check.
Yeah, that'd be great if you have.
Yeah. Let me check because I.
I'm sorry, I got.
Trying to find it.
Okay.
So characters are probably going to be able at launch, but nothing for certain yet. If that's what you're referring to, like characters, like the players, the characters.
Yeah. So the showroom will only have the Unreal Engine 5 mannequins, right, instead of the characters.
Oh, I didn't ask that, but I think we are going to have like characters, not confirmed.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I will try to get more clear info once I.
Sure. And lastly, how about that 3D model for the tutorial game?
Yeah, I don't really think that's doable now. I don't think so.
All right.
But I can push that again, just in case. But yeah, guys, I really have to go. Food, the dinner is ready here, so I want to be polite with everyone. And well, yeah, again, this was the Atlas Brew number 4. See you everyone on Wednesday, and make sure to tune in 10 minutes earlier to the next one, because we're going to do a quiz and the winner gets the ship. See you, everybody.
Thank you, Santi.
See everybody here for the conversation. See ya.
Nice.